Welcome to Toffee Blue View, your source for all things Everton. I'm Gerry. Max and Terry have shown up via Skype. Yeah, guys. Who's gonna start this weekend against Brighton? What's Marco gonna do? Okay, I think we went with Terry last time. So, Max, start us off. Who you got?
In goal, Jordan Pickford. Left back, Luca Dean. Centre back, Kurt Zuma and Michael Keane. Right back, Seamus Coleman. Central midfielders, Idrissa Gueye, Andre Gomez. Just in front of them, Gylfi Sigurdsson. Front three of Bernard, Cenk Tosun, and Richarlison.
Huh? Yeah.
Well,
all three of us are going to be different, guys.
Are they? This will be interesting.
Yeah, I think so. What is are you thinking that he's going to throw Bernard on the opposing side? Has he played that opposite side yet this season?
No, I'm not. I'm not too sure, but I think he'll give them the license to roam, particularly in this fixture, home chance. A real chance to grab a convincing victory, to score some goals. I think this, as I said, he'll give them the freedom to express themselves, and whether he starts on the right, on the left, or if it changes, I just think it's a potentially really creative front three with Tosun there as the clinical finisher.
Right on. Okay. Terry, what do you got?
Not too different. Pickford in goal. Seamus Coleman right back. Luca Dean left back. Got Keane and Zuma at centre back. I know there's calls for Gerry to start. I understand that, but I just wouldn't change them at the minute until forced to do so. Midfield partnership of Idrissa Gueye and Andre Gomez. Gylfi Sigurdsson in front of them, and a front three of Bernard, Richarlison retaining his position through the middle, and Ademola Lookman on the right hand side. So really only the one difference from Max, and that's just because the three substitutes in the last 3 weeks, I think one of them's going to come in. They've all done really well. I think Lookman is probably just going to edge it, just because I don't think he'll start Tosun against Toffee and Dunk. He's more the type of striker they're going to prefer to play against, whereas Richarlison may not be. Obviously, Richarlison wasn't very good at leading the line against Man United, but he was very good against Leicester, against two very big, strong centre-backs, so maybe it'll work the same way, I don't know, but that'd be my lineup.
I'm just rethinking my whole lineup, and I'm going to say it anyway. I mean, you guys give very good reasoning for why you're doing what you're doing. Pickford in goal, Coleman on the right, Keane, and you know what? I've had a bug up my ass thinking that he's going to roll with Mina just to give him some experience before Chelsea. I think, I don't know, the idea of just having him roll in there without having worked with Keane very much, I don't know. So I think if you're going to start him against anyone, Brighton is a solid place to begin. So yeah, I'm going to try it. And if I'm wrong, I'll cry myself to sleep. Oh no. I mean, really, Keane and Mina in the middle. Why not? Dean on the left, Gueye and Gomez, Sigurdsson in the center. I'm going really boring. Walcott and Richarlison on the wings and Tosun up front. I feel like Tosun up front. I would have gone Lookman. I'm just worried too many changes. Right now I've got 2 changes in this lineup. And I don't know if I've put the right ones in, frankly. But I do think before changing out Walcott, having Tosun in there to possibly hold up play and make our guys a little more part of the attack a little bit more, and kind of unify the group a little bit more, and have him hold up the play a little bit better than Richarlison did. I don't know. That's my thinking on that. I totally hear you, Terry, on not changing it out. It's kind of, do you I asked this one time a couple weeks ago, or maybe it was last week. Are you of the philosophy where you line up, you see the other teams line up and then you give them something that is similar to that, or do you give them something where you're thinking, okay, I'm going to give you a speedy guy if you got two slow guys. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. The issue is Richarlison might not be able to hold up the ball at all, but he may be able to completely burn past them. You know what I mean? So I think I've never fully understood the best way to form a lineup when it comes to that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't believe in the old school sort of mentality of you don't change, a winning team kind of thing. And I know we lost to Man United, but I always think no two teams you play against are the same, no two games are the same. So I think you should, if you're able to, sort of adjust your team within reason. Obviously, not like 5 or 6 changes each time, but to better combat the opposition. So it could be that he goes with Tosin, because Tosin is a very, very good foil for other players, even if he's not scoring. I always think he does really well and links well with the other attacking players, but I think he sees, I didn't at first, but I think he sees Richarlison as a striker. And I think this is probably the best chance he's got to in the next upcoming games, where he'll really, do some damage because of who he's playing against, the mould of players they've got in defence. Mm-hmm. Because they're not going to give him as tough a time as Man United's defenders did, and they're not going to give him as tough a time as Chelsea's would do. So I'm just verging on he'll stick with Richarlison and then possibly go back to Tosin in the next game if it doesn't, unless Richarlison absolutely, smashes it against Brighton. But I don't know. I just can't see. I think if he's made that move, Richarlison into the middle, I don't think he's going to flip it back out on and off like he would. Like, he's not that. He hasn't proven to be that type of manager where he moves players about every which way.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, I think those are the question areas, though. I don't think anybody's. There are questions about Coleman, but I don't think that Silva really has those questions yet compared to. So we'll talk more about that later, though. We have a whole segment on Coleman coming. But the question is center back, Mina or Zuma, and then your wings and striker. That's where we could see. It's interesting. In the past, all three of us have been like, keep it the same. Keep it the same.
Yeah.
Winning team, don't change it. But now, because we're coming off a loss, yeah, so I don't know, guys.
It's interesting. I've lent towards Tosin because he did find himself on a score sheet on this fixture last season, and I always think that's a good indicator of if someone manages to bag against a certain opposition, then he'll always tend to give them trouble whenever he plays against them. Look at the amount of players that have a great goal scoring record against Everton, for example. It just always seems to happen. Something else that I feel that we're kind of discussing is the fact we've got this African this friendly cup for Pesa game on the 6th of November, and
against Gor Mahia,
yeah, and we're not entirely sure what 11's going to be fielded there. I think that's where Gerry Mina might make his first start personally.
That's what Terry said in our last session. That's what he was saying.
I think that makes perfect sense to me. I don't want to. Yeah, I agree. You don't want to throw him in at the deep end against Premier League opposition, and getting him minutes on the pitch is vital. So I think that would be a good opposition for him to play against. Obviously, I mean, he might not break a sweat, but it'd be good to see him out on the pitch. And as you always mentioned, Gerry, this Chelsea fixture that's coming up, he's going to have to get some playing time soon because Zuma's not going to be able to play. So
yeah.
I
just want him talking and working with Keane. I just want him getting that partnership going. That's my big concern. When I was writing this down, I almost wrote down Zuma, and then I'm like, well, you can't waffle like that, you idiot. And so I was like, nope, I'm going to stick to my guns. I said it last time. I think it's a strong possibility. And I base it on, like, no evidence whatsoever. So, yeah. I don't know. I feel like this is good conversation, though. The idea of, Max, you were saying Bernard could switch sides, and they may give him license because we're playing Brighton. I think a lot of these things we're mentioning because we're playing Brighton. Oh, and one other thing. Dunk and Duffy might actually make Jink Tosin look speedy.
Fingers crossed.
That's something that just occurred to me. I was like, Tosin pulled away on a breakaway,
Palace.
Last week. So, yeah, that could be a thing. Anyway. All right. So, I really wanted to figure out a way to get Lookman in too. Because I feel like he's earned a start.
I think he'll see playing time, whether that's coming off the bench. I think he'll definitely play at some point.
Right on. Okay, and if it is 3-0 Terry, I think you can fully expect to see Gerry Mina coming in the last 15 minutes.
Oh yeah, if it's comfortable late on, I think we'll definitely see him. I think that would have been the case in any of the last two games.
I agree too.
We'd have scored those goals against Palace with 15 minutes left. He'd have come on immediately, but hasn't worked out like that. So.
All right. Anything else on our starting 11?
No.
All right. So we alluded a little bit to Seamus Coleman, but we did not discuss him. It's because we're saving it for the next segment, and that'll be our final video segment out of this little stretch. So come back for the next one, Seamus Coleman. In the meantime, if you like what we do, if you like our Toffee Blues videos, please subscribe to us to the Toffee Blues YouTube channel. We'd appreciate it. We're slowly chipping our way toward 1,300, so that'd be great. Yeah. Look for Max on Twitter. He'll tell you what podcast he's showing up. He's gracing his presence with. So check that out. Also look for him on the Toffee Blues website. He does analysis, match reports, all kinds of stuff on there. Also look for Terry on the Liverpool Echo fan jury. Just look at his Twitter. He'll tell you what's up. All right, guys. Let's move on to talk about Mr. 60 Grand. Bye.